Welcome back, guys. A couple days late, my bad. If you haven't seen my review of bullets per minute, you can see it right here. Today we're going to break down some of the more technical aspects, and I'm going to give you a little bit more of an in-depth look at what the game is like. Let's go.
Anyway, come on. How long's he?
There are 5 playable characters. I've only managed to unlock 4 of them. The last one is unlocked by beating the game on hard mode. I almost did that the other night. So close. Almost had it, but first we're going to talk about the characters really quick. I know this is a long section, guys. I just really want to break this game down to give people as much information as I can. Goal is the initial character that's unlocked when you start the game. She has a pistol that has 6 shots, is a 2-beat reload. She has 100 health, 0 armor. She's alright, she's good for starting, and she's better than the third character in my opinion. The next character is Freyr. He starts with 0 health but 150 armor. It's really interesting because when he dies, as long as you haven't picked up a max health increase, at 0 health he's not dead until he gets hit one more time, so you technically have 1 extra hit with him. He uses the revolver. This is a 5-shot, 6-beat reload, but what's really cool about it is that you can shoot in the middle of a reload. It's very versatile in combat where you're shooting, you need to reload, you know you've only got 1 or 2 more shots left to kill the enemies, hit reload twice, kill the enemies, and win. He's actually the character I beat the game with the first time and the second time. I haven't managed to do it with any of the other characters. Hildur begins at 50 health and 25 armor. Hildur has one of the strongest pistols in the game. It's a 4-shot, 3-beat reload. Even though it's powerful, the number of shots makes it not a very good weapon, and her lack of health, just 75, is lower than both of the other 2 starting characters. There's nothing really that sets her apart. The last character I unlocked is Njord, it's Njord, not 100% sure how to pronounce it. I think Njord is right. He begins with 50 health, he has no weapons, but he's a magic caster who can indefinitely cast on beat and half beat without the need to reload or stop. You cannot pick up any other weapons with him. They may not be the strongest of shots, but he's quickly become one of my favorite characters, and I almost beat hard mode with him the other day. The last character is Otter. I have not unlocked him yet. I know nothing about him. I'm assuming because you have to beat the game on hard mode just to unlock him, he has a pretty powerful gear set. Gameplay is fast paced. If I can give you any hint to make the game easier, it's never stop moving. If you're in a room with enemies, you have to keep moving. Pay attention to the layout of the area you're in and don't get stuck in a corner. What is nice is you can jump over most enemies, and because you have a double jump and sometimes a triple jump, you're able to get over the bigger ones without getting hit. There are some really cool upgrades you can get that allow you to explode while landing on the ground and stuff like that, but realistically just don't stop moving and focus on the beat and aiming. That's the best hint I can give you to help you win this game. We aren't going to cover all the mechanics here. There are quite a few upgrades. I've unlocked most of them. I don't know if I've seen them all yet, but we're going to go over a few of them that are a little less obvious as to what they do. You'll also want to pay attention to what pickups you get, as they'll dictate how easy the later levels of the game will be for you, because the build you go for really does make a difference. So any item that has cleave on it, it hits enemies near you or near the enemy you kill. When you kill it, it cleaves them and deals damage to them as well. It's actually very powerful and very useful for any build that you are going for a little bit of range with. One of them that I didn't really understand was deals percentage damage. What that means is that instead of your weapon dealing 5 damage, it deals 5% of the enemy's health as damage. I'm not sure what the actual numbers are. There's no numbers that pop up on screen really when you're shooting the enemies. They just light up yellow where you hit them or if you hit them. Percentage damage is generally better than just regular damage. Right, now there's 2 items that are very similar. One of them is called Loki's Bargain. The other is called Midgard Bracelet. They do something very similar. Loki's Bargain says sacrifice slot for stat, and it gives you 1 stat point in each stat you have. While Midgard Bracelet does the same thing, it also gives you 25 extra health. It doesn't fill the health right away, but it gives you the extra health to fill as soon as you find a health potion. Now, a really cool item, but one that you have to be careful using, is the Adventurer's Hat. It allows you to swap your items around in a circle counterclockwise by pressing the number corresponding to what item it is. This is really good, and you can use it to get like 2 sets of boots or 2 sets of arms. The only real problem with it is that if you pick up another item, all of the items will reset, and whatever item you're replacing will get dropped on the ground. I don't know if that's a bug or on purpose, but it happened to me a couple of times. So make sure that when you use it, you're using it on something that you really want to keep for the rest of the game. Mind Flay deals damage over time to enemies nearby you in the circle that's emanating from your character. There are various statues around the map. The basic ones increase 1 stat for 1 gold. There's also the Key Demon and the Coin Valkyrie. Now the Key Demon I don't particularly like because it takes keys, and the only time I find it useful is if I find myself with an abundance of keys and nothing to unlock, or I've found the Skeleton Key artifact that gives me infinite keys. Otherwise, I find that I usually don't get very good items from that one. The other one is the Coin Valkyrie, and as long as you've got coins and you don't need to spend them on health, it's really useful. I get all kinds of really good items out of it, and I recommend stopping it. Coin Valkyrie costs anywhere from 2 to 6 coins, whereas the Key Demon is anywhere from 2 to 6 keys. The rewards are completely random though, so keep that in mind. There is also a slot machine. I personally find the slot machine, like regular slot machines, to be kind of trash, but if you happen to have extra gold and you see one laying around, throw a couple coins into it. I've gotten a health potion or 2 out of it. Usually I just get coins back, it fizzles, or it spawns an enemy on me that tries to kill me. Luckily they're just the little annoying flyer guys that take 2 shots, I believe. Regardless, the slot machine, like a regular slot machine, is in the house's favor and is not worth the money to spend. There's also a triple chest. This is a set of 3 chests in a line. 1 chest has an item, 2 chests have enemies. I usually try at least once. If I don't get it the first time, unless I have extra keys, it's not usually worth it. The items you get are random again, and I don't particularly find them to be super helpful. So when I'm playing my personal builds, I go for anything that heals or adds to healing or armor. There's a Vampire's Circlet that gives you health back for damage dealt, and then there is an item you can find that heals you, and there is a skill you can find that heals you as well. There's 2 different kinds of heals. One heals 25 health, and the other one heals you all the way up. The one that heals 25 health has a shorter cooldown. Also, be sure to check everywhere for platforming, hidden platforming puzzles and platforming areas with extra chests or key demons or coin valkyries. They're usually fairly obvious, but they can be a little hard to find, and sometimes you can't get them. Sometimes it requires a rocket jump or an extra jump or something else, but overall they're worth taking the time to track down and find. Next, we're going to talk about music and visuals.
Actually, I'm capable of distinguishing over 150 simultaneous compositions.
The visuals, while nice, are a little bit odd. They have an overlay and almost like a cell shading with a weird light texture. It could be headache-inducing if you don't like the colors. I personally found them to be just fine, and they were decent enough to play the game with. I don't know if there's going to be any reshades for this game. It's possible. Regardless, though, I found them to be passable, and the textures beneath were actually really nice and really well done. In the last level though, the lighting is terrible. The enemies are hard to see, the boxes are hard to see, the outlines are kind of garbage. I don't really like the last level, but it is the last level. Maybe it's to make it harder, I'm not sure. Just be aware of that while playing. Music, on the other hand, is absolutely amazing. The first song gets repetitive because you die so many times and have to play through the first level so much. The music is very well done, the beats are very clear, it's easy to get on beat, to get on the rhythm of the game, and keep shooting on rhythm, on beat. It's stellar. Alright, now we're going to talk about the user interface.
Check it out, it's got wings.
The UI is simple, nothing seems out of place, everything is easily readable, easy to understand, and mostly explained well enough. There's no screen that explains what all the items are, or item drops are, or like a compendium that you get in some of the other games, but it is really well done. Tab brings up your stats and skills, and you can read what the name of the skill is and what the skill is on your bars, the items you're wearing, and what stats you currently have. Aside from the lack of a compendium, it's really well done. All right, now we're talking about difficulty.
No matter what happens now, you're dead.
This game is brutal, more so than most. Think old school Doom, old school Hexen, mixed with Dance Dance Revolution. You have to be on beat, you have to pay attention, but not just that. If you get stuck in a corner for even half a second, I can't tell you how many times I've died accidentally running into a corner and not realizing it, like why can't I move, dead. Just be cognizant of what's around you, where the enemies are, and the more you play, the more you'll get familiar with the layouts of the rooms you're in. Luckily, the rooms aren't too difficult. The more you play, the easier it is to know where you are and where you can and can't move and shouldn't move. But just always keep moving. That's the biggest hint. The biggest thing I can say is don't stop moving. I know I said it before, but really that's the key. You have to always be moving because these enemies do not miss if you're standing still. Not even a little, and they will demolish you in a couple of hits. You'll be okay, just focus and stay on beat. If you get off beat, take a breath, get back on beat, kill those enemies, take them out, win the game, beat the dragon, you've done it. As for my final thoughts, BPM is one of those rare gems that I wasn't sure I was going to like. I like most shooters, but they're not really my favorite genre of games. This one did really good, and it has an active development team. They want to keep adding to the game. They want to add more challenges, more levels, and more players, as well as more enemies, weapons, items, everything across the board, and I can 100% get behind that and support that. If you're still watching this video, give this game a shot. You won't regret it. It's awesome. It's a ton of fun to play, and the developers deserve every penny. They have done an awesome job. Alright guys, if you've made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. Throw us a comment, let me know what you think of this game. If you've played it, let me know what you think of it. If you haven't played it and you're thinking about picking it up, let me know what you think of it after you get it. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/liftedplane. Links in the description. I stream at least once a week. I am very busy and working on streaming more. I'm also trying to upload my videos more in this manner now, where I do a review and then a technical review of the game, where I give you more of insight into how the game is played. Thanks for being here, and until next time guys, keep playing.